A 24-year-old mother in North Carolina may be facing the death penalty for allegedly starving one of her 5-month-old sons to death on Christmas Day 2022, whilst police say that the victim's emaciated twin brother was only hours away from meeting the same horrific fate. The scumbag in question, the banshee, the mother, Tamia Tashawn Tomlin, has been charged with 1 count of first-degree murder in regards to her infant son's death. We're told that the mother was first taken into custody December 28th, 2022, at which point she was charged with 2 counts of felony child abuse resulting in serious physical injury. She's remained incarcerated in jail since her arrest. We're told that the mother called 911 on Christmas Day last year and reported that she found one of her infant sons unresponsive. This happened in Greensboro, North Carolina. The mother claimed that she had fed both of the twins before putting them down for a nap. She fell asleep herself, and then she woke up a couple hours later. Her blankets were soiled, so I think she's saying that one of her twin boys soiled the blanket, and she said that one of the twins wasn't breathing. So, being the great mother that she is, according to her, she called 911. First responders arrived. They took both twins to the hospital. Tragically, one of the twins was pronounced dead at the hospital. Again, we're not told the boy's name. We are told that the 5-month-old baby boy was severely malnourished. He was skin and bones. You could visibly see his joints. A subsequent autopsy determined that the deceased infant's manner of death was a homicide and that the cause of death was malnourishment and starvation, as well as having a low heart rate and hypothermia. The 5-month-old boy was starved to death. He wasn't fed. In fact, he was found to be 5 pounds in weight. 5 pounds? 5 months old. Born 4.5 pounds. Died weighing only 5 pounds. That is sick. Where were the doctors? I'm going to say that. Where were the doctors? I'm all for personal freedom. I'm all for not having an invasive state. But I think the state authorities need to have protections in place. I'm sure there are some protections in place, but they need to have better protections in place such that newborn children have to be visited by a doctor or at least a nurse. Their progress must be monitored by the authorities to avoid this kind of situation. That's what occurs to me. If a doctor or a nurse have attended to the twins, they would have identified that they were being severely malnourished, that they were being starved. Their lives could have been protected. So to be clear on that point, one of the twins died, the other survived, thankfully, but it's believed that the other was very near death, hours away from dying. The surviving twin was also severely malnourished, also suffering from hypothermia. Again, the blessing here is that that twin has survived. So hopefully they've made a recovery or are on the way to making a recovery. 5 pounds at 5 months old. We're told that they were both born prematurely. They weighed 4.5 pounds at birth, but only 5 pounds at the age of 5 months. We're told that if the mother is found guilty of first-degree murder, she'll be facing either death or life in prison, which I support. I support the severity of that sentence, if found guilty. Now, the mother is claiming that she's not guilty, nothing to do with her, she was a good mom, apparently. And that's supported by the mother's sister, who's claiming that between the two of them, they did feed both twins just prior to the 5-month-old death. So who are we to believe? The doctors, the medical examiners, the fact that both of the twins were described as being severely emaciated, their joints visible, suffering from hypothermia, purposefully starved. That's according to the medical examiners. That's why there's a charge of murder, because the 5-month-old that lost their life was deemed to have been purposefully, knowingly starved. So do we believe the experts, or do we believe the mom, who claims it had nothing to do with her? She had already fed the children. And again, her sister supports that. I don't buy it myself. If children are fed regularly, they don't become severely malnourished. They don't become skin and bone. Simple, basic facts. If there was a medical condition such that the children were not able to easily gain weight, well, then that ought to have been identified and addressed. The mother would have had access to doctors, I believe. Not quite sure how things work in America, but I hope that a mother, regardless of their medical insurance status, regardless of their wealth, I would hope that a mother has access to doctors. So if there was a medical condition which hampered the children's ability to gain weight, then that ought to have been addressed and identified. So we're told that the scumbag in question is is to face court again later this month. I don't believe that's the beginning of the trial. At this point, she seems to be claiming that she's innocent. Perhaps she'll need to be putting in a formal plea on that next date, August 22nd. We don't know. But either way, I hope justice is served. If she is guilty, which it seems to me she is, I hope she gets the maximum sentence, which is either death or life in jail. Either or. Don't really mind, to be honest. If she gets life in jail, then hopefully she can suffer. And I say that with all sincerity. What goes around comes around. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If you make another human suffer to that extent, then I have no issue with that person suffering themselves. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. Going to remind you not to listen to too many videos that I make. They're all extremely depressing. If this one has touched you in particular, take a break, go and do something else. But I will be moving on to another article in just a moment. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit, and take care.